Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cannon, and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is better than you remember. This was directed once again by Gore Verbinski, and this is the final, or at the very least should have been the final, Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's the final one in the trilogy. The trilogy is what counts. At the end of Dead Man's Chest, well, Jack Sparrow went down swinging. He killed the Kraken, but he won the battle, but he lost the war, seemingly. Cutler Beckett has become drunk with power and basically waged war on pirates, to the point where he has waived basic human rights like the whole trial by jury thing and the whole having a lawyer thing. In one of the darkest openings to a Disney movie I've ever seen, he just straight up is just like, alright, you're a pilot, you're going straight to the gallows. No trial, no nothing. And just, it is a rough time to be a pirate. Just when Captain Jack is needed most, he is trapped in Davy Jones' locker, who, speaking of Davy Jones, is pretty much an employee of the East India Company. Beckett has control over the heart of Davy Jones, which means he controls the Dutchman. It is definitely the darkest timeline. The last chance of getting rid of Beckett is a resurrected Barbossa, reprised by Geoffrey Rush, Will Turner, and Elizabeth Swann, reprised by Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, respectively, to form a very shaky alliance to bring Jack back from the locker, but also to reunite the Pirate Brethren Court, who all carry the 9 pieces of 8, to defeat Davy Jones and ergo Beckett once and for all. At World's End was a movie that I remember seeing in theaters and then never watching again. Same thing with Dead Man's Chest. And so going into this rewatch, I wasn't entirely sure, I know how to talk, what to expect. I remember liking it, thinking it was really, really long. And this movie is long. It is 2 hours and 45 minutes. So yeah, it's quite a bit of time. However, seeing it for the first time in about 15 years, this movie's actually quite good. I think in comparison to Black Pearl and Dead Man's Chest, it is the weakest of the trilogy. However, I think this movie did exactly what it set out to do and resolved everything that had been building up since even in Curse of the Black Pearl. It wasn't a smooth ride, but we eventually got to the destination. Of course, it is always nice to see Johnny Depp as Captain Jack. He's really good. It's always nice to see this crew back together once again, and they have to get really creative in order to defeat Davy Jones / Beckett. Basically, they have to, they have these charts, they have to get the Brethren Court together and stop it. It's kind of like herding cats, but it's a very compelling mission. Everybody has their own agenda, everybody has their own ego, but when everyone gets together on one thing, it is genuinely really fun to watch. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Captain Jack is looking at the charts and he realizes, oh, up is down, and so he starts running back and forth between the ship, and everyone catches on, is like, oh, and they all start running back and forth until the ship tips over and they go backwards. I'm pretty sure that's not how ships work, but they did it through the power of friendship. I thought it was well done. Definitely also something that I noticed is the CGI is definitely better here than in Dead Man's Chest. And the CGI was good in Dead Man's Chest. It got better in World's End. Seriously. Davy Jones, Bill Nye is unrecognizable as Davy Jones here. And they do a really unique thing where there's a scene where the Naomie Harris character, I struggle to think of her name, I'll put it in the lower third, but she and Davy Jones reunite for the first time in years, and Naomie Harris's character does a thing where we see Bill Nye in Davy Jones's human form. And the transition is so smooth that it's mind-blowing how good it is. And of course, Beckett is particularly ruthless here, and, well, you've seen the memes, so you know the ending of this. He meets a very fitting fate, and we have all laughed at the memes that have been made of this. It's at least I have. It is a real testament to Tom Hollander for his ability to just be a complete and total ass. because I've seen him in roles where he is genuinely a good person, or at least trying to be on the good side. See his role in Bohemian Rhapsody as Mr. Beach, if you want proof of this. But he meets such a fitting end to where it begins, where he is just where the pirates are being executed, and the officer runs to him and he's like, Lord Beckett, they've started to sing, and Beckett is doing his papers and he hears it and he's like, finally. Not like a shut him up or let him go, they're gonna be dead soon anyway. Everything that he does has a purpose. A very twisted and evil purpose, but a purpose nonetheless. I'm honestly shocked that Cutler Beckett isn't talked about much in great Disney villain lore, but he honestly should. And like I said, this movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes long. Now, in general, the movie does a good job of making use of its time. However, I wasn't super duper crazy about the Pirate Brethren Court, minus one scene where Barbossa has a great line where he talks about how being a pirate meant surviving off the sweat of a man's brow. It's a great monologue. Search it out if you need to watch just one scene from the movie. Search out that one. It is quite good. But I wasn't super crazy about the pirate, like this Brethren Court. I like the idea in theory, but I wasn't crazy about it in practice. There's something that seems a bit more, I guess, romantic or sexy about Captain Jack being like the last of a dying breed, so to speak. It's Captain Jack, Barbossa, Turner, and Swan, and they're like the last remaining bit of pirate spirit going up against the very corporate East India Company. I mean, I'm not entirely saying that it's a waste of time to have the Brethren Court. I'm just saying I personally would have either limited their involvement or just not have them at all. Another thing that I think could have been limited was Chow Yun-Fat. And don't get me wrong, he is very good in the movie, and I like the set design of his pirate lair, like what we see after that opening where Swan goes in and it's like the bathhouse from hell. I love that design. But I don't know, I just don't know if he was entirely needed there, if that makes any sense. But at the end of the day, having watched this movie back for the first time in 15 years, I was very pleasantly surprised at how well everything was wrapped up. This movie does have problems. You do feel the length at times, like I mentioned. There's some stuff that I definitely would have either trimmed or cut out entirely. But in terms of wrapping up things that happened since Black Pearl, I think the movie had about as smooth a landing as you could anticipate. The action scenes were great, especially the one where Turner and Swan get married while fighting off Davy Jones's goons. I thought that was great, especially having Barbossa work out or be the officiating of the ceremony. I thought that was very well done. In total, I'm going to give this movie a great rating. I can't go full amazing because it does feel a bit long and there's some stuff I would have trimmed or taken out, like I mentioned. But give credit where credit is due. Gore Verbinski finished his trilogy. He finished everything that he set out to do, and he did about as good a job as you could ever hope for. I wish that this would have been the last Pirates movie, but there was a small problem. These movies made a ton of money, so Disney was like, alright, we need to keep going with these. And, well, I was debating whether or not to review the last two Pirates movies, but seeing as though I'm trying to be a bit more of a completionist, I'm going to cover them. So next week on the channel, I will be continuing the Pirates series of reviews by talking about Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.